AFTV, Happy New Year, Lee. And that was a great performance out there today, wasn't it?
Yeah, Happy New Year to everybody. Yeah. What a fantastic performance, the starters we mean to go on in the new year, because I thought we was fantastic first half. We made Man United look ordinary, and if I'll be honest, they've been in form lately.
They have been, yeah.
And all the talk about Rashford, James and Martial, they never really got a kick in that first half. So it was outstanding and some brilliant performances. And at the end of the game, which it should be a given, Robbie. Players out on their feet. But they haven't been out on their feet. They've not worked hard enough under Lundberg. They've certainly not worked under Emery. But credit to Arteta, he's got them working. And it's great to see the work rate and energy of the players today. I thought they got better physically than they did probably against Chelsea. I thought they dropped in that performance against Chelsea.
Yeah.
But no, today brilliant, and I'm going to say a little special thing for Mesut Ozil today. I thought he was, I know some people are pained to say that they say he's just done well or whatever today.
No, he was brilliant.
I thought he was outstanding today.
Some of the passing, the way he was just floating around the whole game, wasn't he?
He was causing problems all the time, getting on the ball, being pressured. I thought he'd done really well, but that's what you want to see him now, week in, week out.
Exactly. That is the test now of these guys, isn't it? Can you deliver that week in, week out?
Of course it is, that's exactly what you want there. But I think a couple of the players that have been getting criticism, Kolasinac, come back from injury. He was fantastic today.
Yeah.
Create the first goal, Since Arteta's come into the team, he's played really well, by the way. Really, an improvement there. And Maitland-Niles again today, I'm going to have to say, solid. Really, I think Arteta's had a word with him and said, look, you're probably not going to make it as a midfield, but you could make it as a right back. And he's proving that he can, So all round a great performance, And second half, I have to say that we sort of managed the game, and we haven't done that for a very, very long while. I'm a big critic of Socrates as well. Some things he's a mixed bag, isn't he? But he played really, really well again today, And David Luiz, I think Turkish just said it. He's had his last two games have been really, really solid, and not only that, ball playing as well, coming from the back. Listen, it's a great start to Tottenham losing as well. I think they lost today, didn't they? And a couple of people. We're back in the top four race, aren't we? What I mean?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
No. We're just. But listen, I think we're 3 points off of Spurs now, and we're in meltdown. So we're staying up. We're going to stay up. No worries about that. Listen, that is a real confidence boosting win. We needed that. If we'd have beaten Leeds, people would have turned around and said we're expected to beat Leeds. If we'd have maybe but now we've got a real confidence boosting win against Manchester United. We now go to Leeds, and then obviously we've got a big game against Palace, but we can get some points under the ball. Listen, I think Arteta has come in and he's given everybody confidence. Look at the atmosphere in there today. It was because everybody's now starting to believe. They're buying into it. They're buying into it. We are, everybody come to the stadium thinking that we ain't going to beat Chelsea. All right, we lost to Chelsea. We've given them a right good game. And then we've come here today, and you could see there was a lot of confidence in the air, and the boys produced a performance, and roll on till Monday now.
AFTV Lee, point gains or 2 points lost?
Difficult one, that really. I thought that first half we was brilliant. I have to say that, really good first half performance. Second half, even before the sending off, we weren't holding the ball up, and they got on top of us. I said to my mate Ken that at half time, I said, as well as we played first half, we needed to be more than one up. Because they couldn't play that bad, could they? And they did turn it around second half. But I'm going to say the positives from today. We went down to 10 men. I thought we was a better team at that moment. Then we created a little bit more. What's good about today, from my point of view, is that where I've been seeing teams having pot shots at us, they hardly laid a glove on us first half. So there's lots of improvement.
Even second half, you didn't really remember Leno scrambling around to make saves or nothing, did you? I mean, they got the deflected goal, and then after that, I think probably one other chance, but Leno wasn't really worked, was he, in the game? No,
and they're a decent side, Palace. Don't.
Well, they're above us at the moment.
Above us. They're a decent side. It's always difficult to come in. They never rain shots on us.
Yeah.
And from that point of view, as I said, I felt that the worst we was going to get out of it was a draw. I felt very, very confident with it. I think losing Torreira was a factor as well. I know, like we're going to talk about Aubameyang, but that was a factor because I felt that we was dominating the midfield. I'm going to have to say it again, Xhaka today was brilliant in there today, and
I was saying that earlier to one of the guys. I ended up captain. Ironic, but it was like a captain's performance there. As he won you back round, I know you were quite critical of him when the whole thing went down with the incident with him, and have been in the past. But we have to say his attitude and everything that we're seeing at the moment, he's been excellent.
Listen, what he done weren't right, and the problem was because he was given the captaincy. I think the fans weren't happy with that. So I think Emery put him out, under the bus, if I'll be honest. But since he's done that, you've got to perform.
Playing like a captain at the moment, don't
he? Yeah, he's putting his body on the line. In the last minute there, if Pepe's pass would have been a little bit, he was the one going through. I thought he was really good today. Him and Torreira have done really, really well. But what they've done is to give us a structure to play in front of the back four, and the back fours look better. The two central defenders today done well. And Maitland-Niles, I've got to give him a mention as well. Absolutely. Zaha today, I think is a quality player. But he never really got a kick today because and he got booked in the second half, and he still done a trick on him. So listen, we've got to have a look at the Aubameyang thing. Stupid challenge. You know what I mean? Like he don't tackle normally. So what's he tackling on the halfway line? You know what I mean? So what I haven't seen the incident, but everybody's saying it's a sending off. Yeah, so
they showed it on the screen. That's what I couldn't understand. They actually showed the replay, which I thought was out of order, but showing that because obviously when the fans saw it, like especially the Palace fans, they were not happy, and you couldn't blame him. It was a terrible tackle.
Where was you then, seeing it on the screen?
There's a screen. If there's a screen, you see that big screen?
Well, yeah, it was a bit. All it was is a square oblong. You know what I mean? This
I'll be on the post.
Yeah, like it was right by the corner flag.
They do actually have a screen on there. If you look to the right hand side, they've got a big screen.
Very, very nice of them, like. But if you can't see it, that's the end of it, isn't it? VAR.
After people can't even see the pitch.
VAR. Everybody around the world knows exactly what's going on about it, apart from the paying fan, because we don't even know what's going on in here. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even know that there was.
It did have that on the screen, though, by the way.
Well, but it's all right if you can see it, but I couldn't see it, and I'm not lying, Robbie. I couldn't see it, but and that's the joke.
Yeah.
That we're paying to go and watch the game. Everybody else knows exactly what's happening. We don't even know. I didn't even know what he was doing. Someone said he was been sent off, and because the tunnel's down that end, I thought he was walking back and getting a position. And then the next thing he carried on walking. No, come back. But
and he ain't going to be coming back for three games now, and include one of those Chelsea away. I mean, it's going to be a big miss, isn't it?
It is going to be a big miss. But the one criticism I've got of Arteta, and I'm not criticising by the way, but I think Martinelli's got to come back into this team.
Well, he will now.
And that's that. So there's a plus. And now he's got 3 games to cement his place, because I think he was the difference when Aubameyang got sent off. He come on and he give us something different. He's so direct. Like the lovely little dink over the top for the one that hit the post. He gives us that little bit of magic. I think he's a fantastic player, and I think that now we've got to ask players like Lacazette to step up for the goals. But it's disappointing to lose him. But listen, it is what it is. If it is a sending off, you've got to accept it. And VAR done its job on that part.
AFTV Lee, please give me a positive out of that game. I know it's hard, but there's got to be at least one.
No, not really. The positive, we've got a point out of it, because that was awful.
Is that positive though?
Well, not really.
10th in the table?
10th, no, it's not really that. Listen, this is the worst Arsenal team I've seen for a very, very long while. I've been putting up for this for 6 months.
Team or performance?
For team, it's the worst team I've seen for a very, very long while. And we've had 6 months of it now, and we're 18 days into the transfer window, and nothing's been done to improve it. It's unbelievable. We've seen performances like this, Pippa, week in, week out at home. And nothing's been done. And the board have now gone 18 days without improving it. Exactly. And it's not on. Listen, Sheffield United today, from the first minute to the last, were the better team. You can't deny that. Sheffield United. There's a lot of things. Done? Listen, Arteta, I think, has done okay. Yeah. He's done okay, but he needs to be back, Pippa. He needs to. The people, at the moment he's doing well. So what's the ball thinking? Oh, he's doing well. There's been slight improvements. We're not going to do nothing. He's got to be backed. He's got to be backed properly as well. You can only take so many of the players so far. Yeah. You can coach them to a certain level, but today they're not good enough. There's players out there that wholeheartedly are not good enough. And that's it. Pepe today, you know, I want to see him taking on fullbacks and beating them. He does a little jink and then passes it. That's not what we want.
Do you think that's down to confidence though? Because he's got pace, and there's so many times he can knock it past the player and run. He just doesn't do it.
Well, he doesn't do it. I don't know why, you know, but he obviously has got the ability. You know, and I don't like to see this thing about confidence. You know, Lacazette is an international footballer lacking in confidence. Why? Why? You know, these are all the questions you've got to ask. You know, defensively today, I thought we done okay, but again, you look at their goal, 2-3 players on the far post, unmarked. That happened at Crystal Palace. So we're still not learning our lessons. The players are still not learning their lessons, whether you've got a good coach or a bad coach. Yeah. You know, and that's unfortunately what's happening. And we're getting a result like this today. How many more poor performances like that first half? I've got to say, it was painful. Yeah. It was painful. They should be paying us, not letting us paying them to watch that. It was painful. You know what I mean? When you look at it, what was good come out of that? Unbelievable.
Just before second half.
Yeah, unbelievable. We've gone 1-0 up. Yeah. Unbelievable. But like you know, I have to say it today, Arteta made a mistake by bringing Lacazette off and putting on Eddie. It wasn't the right move. I felt we needed a positive move. I felt that was more of a negative move, you know. And I felt in the first half, I've got to say this, you know what I mean, like we're 1-0 up and Mesut Ozil didn't really do anything in that game. But then when it was 1-0 in the second half, he really come onto the game. I thought he was the one dictating it in that second half. Played really well second half. But then you've got the decision to make, whether you stick with the 1-0 and defend it, or you go again. And by leaving Mesut on, I think that he should have then kept Lacazette on, because we was getting into the game at that moment. As soon as he brought that off, we went defensively, and then we're shy in midfield because we haven't got. He was going to. I'll tell you what. If you have a look at it today, just before that goal, he was going to bring Guendouzi off.
Yeah, I saw,
he was going to bring Guendouzi on and take Ozil off. He just reacted a little bit too late to it. But I'm not having a go at Arteta, because I think that there's been lots of good signs in that. But if we're going to improve and get better. You know, people are on here now saying Europa League's our best chance. Well, yeah, maybe it is, but look at Inter Milan, they're buying players and making sure that they're going to get into the Champions League, whether it's one route or the second route. Well, you know, we're just hoping. Everybody here, round here, is more hope than anything else, and that's where we are.
AFTV Lee, you know what? I'm glad I got you, because you're one of the fans that will come on here and you always demand to see fight. You want to see your team go down. Even if we go down, you want to see them go down fighting. And there is absolutely no way any fan today cannot say that they did not show absolute fight out there.
Totally agree. 2-1. When they scored at 2-1, I turned around to my mates and said, look, we've lost the game, but I'm proud of them. I didn't think we was going to come back from it, but I said we're giving it absolutely everything. And you've got to admire them for going again, you know, and you know, like, it was absolutely brilliant. I'm so proud to be an Arsenal fan today. You know, proud of the team first and foremost, but the fans as well. It was absolutely
what an atmosphere! Class. I ain't heard that atmosphere for a long time. It was brilliant.
It was absolutely brilliant from every single Arsenal fan today that was in there today. I was so proud to be an Arsenal fan, because that's what it's about. That is what it's about, you know. Things always go wrong for us here, don't they? Like, you know, I didn't think it was a sending off. I think it's a definite penalty.
Listen, it's definitely a penalty. I was thinking to myself, was Mustafi back enough to keep him on? But I don't know. It's hard to tell, isn't it?
Well, it's gone round Leno, so like you know, it was a goal scoring opportunity, but you know, it's double jeopardy in it. You know, I think that he generally went for the ball, so I didn't think it was a sending off. But in saying that, then we go 1-0 down from the penalty. But from that moment on, then I thought we was absolutely brilliant. To a man. I've got to mention Xhaka. Absolutely outstanding at back. Absolutely outstanding. And I will say this now: Saka at left back. I don't know why we're looking at left backs. I think he's, you know, potentially he's going to be the best left back in.
He was awesome.
Oh, absolutely awesome. He caused all sorts of problems there. You know, when you think about it, him and Martinelli, two 18-year-olds on the left-hand side today, they cause mayhem down here. You know, and I've got to say this was Pepe's best game today. I thought he really stretched them on the other side. And I'm going to say this about Lacazette, you know, everybody's criticising him. The amount of work that he had to go through today for a centre forward.
You know, there's 10 men on there. I think people forget it's 10 men, and he absolutely, as I said, they hardly had the energy off of them players to come over at the end.
No, he give us a platform there, like, you know, give us a platform. And at the end, we're through at the end there, and the referee blows up. You know, I thought some of his decisions today were scandalous. But, you know, Martinelli today, I've got I love him. I absolutely love him. What's a player like?
It's everything, isn't it? It's work rate, it's skill, it's power. His kid's 18.
He's 18 years of age. He's got everything. But I'll tell you,
who spotted him?
Whoever done that?
That scout who spotted him needs, you know.
Well,
he needs a big pay rise.
He needs a big pay rise, and the person that let him go for $6 million needs sacking, like, because it's unreal. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he's got everything. But what he's got more than anything, he's got heart. Yeah. He's got an absolute heart. The determination to go through it and put his body on the line was absolutely sensational. Fantastic performance from Leno down to everybody else.
Great save by Leno as well.
Right,
there was one save he made there from that header.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was a great save, and I'm going to have to, look, you know, let's be honest, we could all shoot Mustafi when he done what he done, but you know, you have to say to him, to come back in the way he did. He could have melted in that second half, but he never did. He kept his faith and kept making his challenges, and he defended really well in the second half, like they all did, you know. It's great for Hector Bellerin as well, like, you know.
Big up the fans were brilliant, and I want to also big up the fans for not getting on the back of Mustafi after that mistake, which I've seen in the past. They didn't. They still supported the team, and
listen, the fans today never got on the back. Even at 1-0 down, they were still singing, and so even at 1-1, they were still believing. And then when we went 2-1 down, that was enough to kick everybody, because we're all, let's be honest, we're all in there saying, oh, they're gonna nick one, you know what I mean? And then when they did, you know, but then the fans come again, and you know what I mean? An absolute pleasure to be in there tonight, like, you know what I mean? Pleasure to be an Arsenal fan.
AFTV, Lee, good win for Arsenal today, and really positive to see so many youngsters that come through the ranks. Eddie Nketiah scoring, Saka scoring, you know, and great performances by the young players in particular. Guendouzi, Martinelli again, full of energy. It was really encouraging to see.
Yeah, that's the encouraging thing, and that's what's good about the Arsenal at the moment. That's the positive. But what they've got to do is now invest. You know, coming down here, a lot of fans today a little bit unhappy with what's going on in the transfer window, because we've got some good youngsters, and if we can build around them as well with some quality, you know, things are looking really, really good. You know, I watched today's game. As good as we was first half, we was poor second. But, you know, some of the football in the first half was brilliant. We've got to, you know, under Arteta, the problems that has been is that he's been doing it one half and then not the other. So
you reckon they kind of sort of said to them, second half, almost like sort of turn it down a bit, because the pressing and everything, we're 2-0 up, let's just manage the game now till the end?
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what's probably happened. You know, positives from that is that they've managed the game. And to be honest, if it wasn't for the injury of Mustafi, probably would have seen it out to 2-0. But you know, what the positive in the Arsenal team at the moment is that everybody that's playing is improving. Or improved. Look, you know, Guendouzi, I thought was our best player at the beginning of the season. Then his form dipped. I thought he was absolutely outstanding today. My man of the match today, if I'll be honest. I thought Saka was brilliant, but I thought Guendouzi was absolutely brilliant in there today, like, you know. And look, you know, Mustafi's even improving. You know, like the fans singing his name today. So there's so many positives to look at from the Arsenal point of view. But, you know, it seems to me that Arteta's got them going. But he is going to need backup. He's going to need help from the board, Robbie. And, you know, it doesn't look like they're going to do anything. Another injury today, you know, and we've now really got Rob Holding as a backup, and he's not quite ready yet, is he? Like, you know.
Well, there's a guy from Brazil. I mean, obviously we're not privy to what's going on in the press conference now, what Arteta's saying about it. But, well, I say from Brazil, he's Spanish, over in Brazil, Mari. Maybe that might still happen. I mean, I know he went back. But it could be. I mean, we do need defenders in particular, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We need to strengthen it up. You know, like, this is the problem. This is why fans are getting the ump and getting a little bit restless with the ball, because at the end of the day, you can see there's potential there. You know, I challenge any Arsenal fan at the moment. Maybe the results have not been as great as what we expected, but every fan can see that there's improvement in the squad. Every fan can see that there's things going in the right direction from the pitch. Now it needs backing from the board. And if they're not going to do it, you know, I mean, Arteta's going to fall on like.
What can you do in January though? This is because the thing is, the conundrum in January is, just get bodies in. You can go and sort of, but if you want those real top quality elite players, you have to wait till the summer, innit?
Yeah, I get that. You know, that's when you're challenging your first, second, or third. We're 10th. You know, if we can't improve on 10th, we've got problems. You know, when can you do? There's 2 transfer windows, Robbie. You know, there's only 2. There's not. You know, you can't pick and choose when it is, because there's 2. There's one in the summer, which we go in sparingly, and in the January one we don't seem to do anything. You know, like. But that's the problem with the football club. You know, we're settling for mediocrity. We're settling for what they're saying. You know, we've got to say that. You know, what I've seen today. Listen, we've come out going to Bournemouth, but they're, you know, I think they're going to get relegated, if I'll be honest. You know, like so. But we've controlled the game of football and we've looked very, very good. But is that going to take us to the next level? Is that going to take us to Champions League? No. So it needs investment. It needs the board now to come out and, you know, what worries me is that they're differing. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it seems like they're differing over £1 million. You know what I mean, for a centre half. You know what I mean, you can't have that, can you? You know, the club's got to be positive in all angles, and that means from the top to the bottom. But you know, for today, look, it's getting into the next round in the FA Cup. Fantastic little trip down to Portsmouth, and realistically, you know, they're a League One side. We've got a very, very good chance of getting into the quarter-finals, last 8 of the competition, and a great chance to really do something in the FA Cup now, and that's what we want. We want to get a trophy, and this is a good start.